All right, PEZ fans, it is International Negroni Week 2024, and I had promised you a live demonstration on how I was going to make my Negroni. Well, yesterday while I was getting prepped for the live broadcast, ran into some technical difficulties. Just wasn't going to look good enough or do this wonderful drink the justice that it deserves, because not only is it a culinary treat to the taste buds, but visually it is stunning, and it's the kind of drink when you see it, you just want to grab one and drink it on down. Now, I should tell you a little bit about my history with this drink. It is going on 20 years for sure that I have been drinking this thing. I started, I know officially in 2003 was the first time I'm pretty sure I tried a Negroni. I don't have any record of that, but I do have in the record books a Negroni I drank in 2004 in London at a bar called Jules, which was very cool because I noticed the bartender there muddled the orange into the drink before making it. Now, starting out with this drink, I will tell you that it's a simple drink. There are three key ingredients. You've got to have gin, you've got to have Campari. You can't build this without Campari, and Vermouth. Choices in gin and Vermouth can be made, and they will influence the flavor of this drink. One thing you cannot alter is the Campari. You have got to use, this is it, the original Campari. If you don't use Campari, you're not making a Negroni. That's all there is to it. I would like to take a moment to comment on the expansion of this drink over the years. Now, there's been so much fervor around the flavor of this drink that it really expanded, and all kinds of people had started jumping into the mix to cash in on the Negroni craze by inventing versions of the Negroni and started calling it other types of Negronis. In fact, books have even been written about the Negroni. I think it's kind of hard to really write a whole book about this one drink because it's not like there's a lot of different ways you can go and make this drink. There's one way to do it. Anything else you make is not a Negroni, regardless of what the ingredients are, mezcal, tequila, whiskey, all these other things that they're calling them. They're not Negronis. It makes for a cool book, and in fact, I actually enjoy this book because it's really cool and it makes a great gift idea for somebody. But we are talking about the pure Negroni here. I am a Negroni purist. When it comes to a Negroni, I've tried all the others, and I always come back to my flavor favorite. It's a simple recipe. 3 parts. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. All right? One thing I love doing is having a big old premix of Negroni on hand. I keep it in my bar fridge in a beautiful receptacle that looks like this. This actually was a mezcal bottle, but it's got a great stopper on it, and it looks fantastic when it's filled up with Negronis. So we always start out with the gin. Now you can use a lot of different gins. People have asked me, PEZ, what's your favorite gin for the Negroni? I'll tell you what I always do is I always go back to one of 2 brands. Typically, I buy Gordon's. I like Gordon's. I think the Gordon's London Dry is an excellent gin for this drink. I also enjoy Beefeater. The reason is these gins are simple, basic gins. They are not too flowery. They are not too fancy. In the explosion of spirits in the last few years that we've seen, there are so many fancy versions of gins. They're too over the top, too botanical, too much this, too much that. It ruins the flavor of the drink. It takes over, and it doesn't allow the other components of this drink to come out and shine and give you the right flavors. So I always like a basic London Dry gin. You got to go with that. That's where you go. Okay. Next up, we're going to go in with the Vermouth. The Vermouth is probably the ingredient that can change the flavor of this drink more than anything else. By the way, in my premix here, I am going to make a 24-ounce pour of this. I'm going to store it in my nice big bottle there. So I'm going 8 ounces of gin. I'm now going to add 8 ounces of red vermouth, my favorite, and I have tried them all, is Martini Rosso. I always come back to this. It's got a nice sweetness to it. I also use Cinzano, which I like. I've tried some others. There's a lower end Italian brand called Stock, which is okay, but it changes the flavor. You can also get into the fancy vermouths, the Carpano Anticos, which are really interesting tasting, but they really change the flavor of this drink. And you can tell when you're drinking a Negroni made with something other than a basic, nice, simple vermouth like this, because it really can make the drink a little too powerful for some people. Some people just don't like the strength of this drink, which of course I think is actually one of the best things about it. The fact that it's got a really nice booze forward flavor. It tastes boozy. It's an awesome boozy cocktail. That's why we're making it. All right, now the next thing we're gonna do. Historically, I have told you, yes, Campari is the ingredient that's got to go into this thing. A long time ago when I started drinking these, Mrs. PEZ was not really crazy about the Negroni. She thought it was too strong. It was too boozy, too much power in there. And that was when I was making it with our 3 key ingredients. Over the years, I came up with a plan because I wanted Mrs. PEZ to join me in drinking and enjoying these Negronis. So I needed a way to dial back the Campari, but not take away any of the flavor of this drink. So this is the big reveal on the PEZ secret at-home recipe on what I do. I'll tell you what, here it is coming into the picture. Yes, folks, Aperol. Now, in case you didn't know, the Campari company owns Martini. It owns Aperol. It owns pretty much all the big brands of alcohol coming out of Italy, the famous Italian brands we love. But what I started doing is, this is a lighter orange flavored liqueur. I started cutting my Campari version in this by half. So instead of going a full third Campari, I am going now at home. 1/6 of the drink is Campari, 1/6 of the drink is Aperol, 1/3 of the drink is Martini, and another 1/3 of the drink is our gin right there. So I've got the drink poured in here now into my big old receptacle. We are going like this, we're giving that a little stir. So this is gonna impress not only your friends and family, but yourself too. When you see how amazing this looks, check this out. Here we go. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Oh, this smells so good. There, I'm gonna seal this up and just give it a little gentle stir here. Next thing we need is our glass. I'll tell you what, a couple of things going on here. Depending on the ice that I have available, I really like to use a glass like this for the Negroni. First of all, the glass is very important. It's so important that I've got to talk for a couple of minutes just about the glass. You need a glass that feels really good in your hand. It feels like you're gripping something worth holding on to, and in fact you are, because it's an amazing drink. Next, depending on the ice that we're gonna use, I have a nice big open cocktail glass here. I also love these fancier glasses sometimes depending on my ice, but today I'm gonna be using a single cube. And here's what we're doing. This handy tray, bought this online at Amazon. This allows me to make these really cool round ice cubes. I like to set this into the glass gently so it doesn't break. All right, folks, watch this. Oh, beautiful. I always like a nice 2 to 3 finger pour on the Negroni. Can't finish it off without an orange, and it's not just a piece of orange. I like to present this in a way that I think is kind of cool. I like to get a nice, just add this as a really nice piece of zing and zest. Then to finish this off, and I love to squish this orange juice right in here just for a little bit of extra orange flavor. It tastes so good. We give it a little stir like this. Oh yeah. And that, my friends, is how I make a Negroni, and I'm gonna be enjoying this right now. It is Negroni week. I hope you're all gonna have a Negroni. Try my recipe out. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below. Would love to hear what you have to say. If you've got something else to add, of course, put it in there as well. All right, thanks for watching, PEZ fans. Don't forget to keep the rubber side down. Like and subscribe and all that other stuff that we YouTubers love you to do. Cheers.